on this computer. Okay, this is John Ward. This is our second meeting of 90-day push for a game plan for the prime recruiting season. So I want to welcome everybody, and I'm glad you're here. Some of you some of the people may be battling the weather in the East Coast, North Carolina with Florence, and we wish everybody there all of our prayers. And we battled it last year. It brought back a lot of memories from Irma. So we were without power for 2.5 weeks. So I really understand what they're going through. And it's a process, because once the storm's over and the water starts receding is when it gets ugly. So, and tough for a lot of people, and frustrating. So anyway, yeah. Okay, good, Scott. Let's see. It looks like the one with your picture is the one that is not hooked up for some reason, but it's all right. No worries. Okay, so let me just go around the horn a minute here and see how everybody's doing. And I'll just start with Debbie. Debbie, did you have a chance to listen to the call from 2 weeks ago?
I was on it.
Okay, you were on it. All right. I didn't remember who was on it. So how have you done it with your RPM and your focus?
So I've got it all written down. I've got my goals and everything that,
Awesome.
I'm going to be.
Okay. So you just haven't started yet.
Right.
Okay, perfect. Okay, Ron?
I've been doing more marketing than selling, but
good.
So I've been busy this, that, and the other thing. So hopefully I am going off a little in all directions, but I'm trying to stay on top of it.
Okay. Okay, great. And then Scott.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm really pretty excited about the progress I made, but I don't get to say that I finished my massive action plan.
Okay.
But prerequisites, I had just trying to figure out, what it is that I want to do in general, my life purpose type stuff, and I'm quite happy. I'm right on the edge now. I can fill out the massive action plan. Now I know where I'm going. So.
And how did that? Let me ask you a question, if you don't mind. How did that feel to you? Like, because it sounds like maybe this is the first time or the first time in a long time that you kind of refocused everything.
That's really hard to explain. It was so much easier than I had thought. I mean, I've been trying to figure out this life purpose type, this beginning question for, I didn't even know how to approach it. I didn't even know what the questions were to ask for a long time.
Yeah.
And I'm working with Dan Locke, and I did it this morning, and I filled out. I got to my goals section. Everything's just running smooth. I know what I'm looking at now.
Yeah.
So the massive action plan is no longer a chore that I'm faced with to figure it out. Now it's the next step.
Right.
So I'm pretty happy with what I've done.
Awesome. That's great. And Ron, I know you wrote yours out, and we had messaged back and forth a little bit. And I think you wrote it out in general terms, and I said something to you about focusing it for an individual month, if I'm not mistaken.
I haven't written it for a month. I'm working on, basically, as I read it, I'm making a little bit of progress on on most of the line items.
Okay.
So that being said, it's been positive overall.
And what would be the most positive thing that you could share with us, if you don't mind, that it's helped you with?
Well, I've got some marketing going on where I've set up a capture page and a follow-up system, and I'm doing I'm working had an opportunity to work in local radio here. So that's was supposed to start Friday, but with the storm going on, I don't know if it even hit the airwaves.
Right.
So I'm basically just pushing everybody to a capture page I created into the system.
Good. And then what do you have set up when you capture them? Because if you're doing radio advertising and you capture them, you don't want to let them, in my opinion, don't want to let them sit very long without some contact and probably verbal contact.
Yes. Well, seeing they will be local people, and that's how my ad was structured, and I intend to be talking to them. So, these leads go into AWeber as opposed to the Income Shift Pro. So they're in my database, and they're going to continue to get my emails. But it's I just punched the domain name out. I'm probably next thing I want to do is to throw that on the same process onto Craigslist.
Okay. All right. And I'm going to suggest that it's not just email communication that you do with them, that you have to extract from them a telephone conversation.
I would have to agree with you, because as a two-way communication, email isn't very effective.
No, as a matter of fact, email, the percentage of emails getting opened is less and less and less. And so your percentages of open rate, your percentages of click-through are going down, 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 down. Because more and more people are doing what all of us do. We use the power of how many of you use Facebook Messenger? Way more than you use text now.
Yep.
Scott?
What was that, Ian?
I said, are you as far as we were, I was commenting on Ron's, that he set up a capture page for some advertising he's doing through radio, but my comment was that he has to extract a phone number from them so he can have some conversation with them, because email open rate is declining, because
that's very true.
Right.
I have not the part of my confidence with my voice issues are just not liking talking on the phone. And yeah, I'm not getting any results. I've got Income Shift Pro, and the emails are not producing conversions. They're not. So
right.
And conversions, you're going to have to talk to them.
You're going to look, it's coming full circle. Okay. So, if you think about the Amway days, you've heard the stories. If some of you aren't old enough, you've heard the stories. I know, Ron, you probably remember Amway days. Okay.
Yep.
That was belly to belly. That was old school network marketing. And you're going to see old school marketing be combined with technology. And that's the way it should be anyway. Because there was a time when maybe 5 years, 10 years ago, the network online marketers were pushing, I don't have to talk to anybody. It's great. It's wonderful. I don't have to deal with them. I just sell my stuff online. It's excellent. Well, guess what? They're not doing so well today in this market. It doesn't work as well. And unfortunately, look, you guys I know where you guys, the businesses that you're in, but Eric and Ray, they had their online agency. Well, guess what? They're back to talking to people. And there was a time for a couple years, that 2 or 3 years, that they were professing they didn't have to talk to anybody. Well, guess what? Things change. And so it's very important, Ron, to find a way to communicate over the phone. People, and if you can't do it over the phone, you can do it over Zoom. Look at the benefit of Zoom. I haven't met any of you guys personally, but now I have a recognition of Ron. I have a recognition of Debbie when she's not hiding in the dark. No, I'm just kidding, Debbie. And I have a recognition of Scott because I got his picture here. But last week he was on video. So my words and your words have more meaning and impact because now we get to know each other visually, because now we are connecting visually. We're hearing each other. We can't shake hands. We can't touch each other. But now we are tapping into emotions. And that's the key to marketing. And one of the reasons, Scott, that you said you're not having any success with email, I get it. There's no emotion. How do you create emotion in an email?
Especially difficult when it's not two-way.
When it's not what?
It's not two-way. There's no return emails. There's no conversation.
Exactly. You know, because, you know, you don't know. Do you use a autoresponder?
Yeah, I use the autoresponder. I like to write my own emails. I'm getting fairly.
Right. But what we don't know, and I use an autoresponder too, what you don't know is how many of those went to junk mail and people don't open their junk. They don't check their spam because it happens. You know, I use Aweber also, Ron. Who do you use, Scott?
I'm just using Income 6 Pro's built-in system.
Yeah, okay. And Deb, do you use an autoresponder?
Aweber.
Okay, Aweber. And we got Jay Amal. Are you there? Well, I'm going to be quiet. Okay, no worries. So it's really, you got to be extremely creative with words, and really not just words. You have to, where you have to create the emotion with an email is in the subject line.
Yeah.
That's the only place, that's the only way to do it. You have to create some kind of emotion and curiosity. That's difficult. That took me a long time to learn. And you know what? I still struggle with it sometimes. What do I put in that subject line? So a couple things, and look, I'm not here to pitch this. A couple things I've done is I was fortunate enough to be able to, I had some money, extra money. I got a service called BombBomb. And that is video email marketing. It's a video autoresponder. Now you can put a video in Aweber, but with this, it allows me to do some different things. And the people that run the company are in their 20s and 30s. And it's like a young Facebook company. So that's opened my eyes a little bit. Is it effective? Not yet. Did I have trouble with getting people to open those? And what it is, I could get them to open the email, but they weren't pressing play to play the video that I recorded.
Are you talking about Vivo Mail?
No, it's called BombBomb is what it's called.
Oh, okay.
But I'm trying to learn how to make it work and work properly. Is it highly effective? I don't know yet. It may have been a waste of money. I'll let you know. But I've used it. I'll tell you how I've used it and had the most effectiveness is on Facebook for birthdays. I take a I take, I use it, and I use this. I use a 12-inch little dry erase board, and I do this, and I make like a 10-second video that goes something like this. Hey, David, I just wanted to stop by, wish you a happy, happy, happy birthday. Hope you celebrate big and enjoy your day. Happy birthday, dude. That's it. You know that I was sending that and no one was hitting play. They would open it but not hit play. I finally had to put in there, because I would say for your special day, and it created a link. And I finally had to put on there, for your special day, press play, and I put press play in big caps.
I got a trick for you, John, that I found that works.
What's that? Oh, anything.
The very first section of the video, make a GIF of it, and you overlay a big mute button, so like a speaker with so it looks. They open the email and they see this motion GIF, and it looks like the video is playing, and they press the mute button, and it actually opens up the page with the video on it.
Oh, that's great. Thank you. I'll try that. Because what this one does is it allows you to create a thumbnail. So I'll try that. I appreciate that. That's a great tip. So anyway, so the other thing that I'll share with you that I'm doing that, and then we'll get into the training, is I'm using a service that I found. Basically, anybody know what Send Out Cards is?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Debbie does. Ron does. You know what Send Out Cards is, Scott?
Yeah.
Okay. So I found a service that's not MLM, that's not an affiliate. It's a card service. They charge $1 for the card, and postage is 50 cents. You can put a picture, you can put a picture on the front, you can do whatever you want with it. And so it's free to sign up. You just have to load a little bit of money on it. Like, I started with 25 bucks. And so I'm back to, because I always liked Send Out Cards, because I like there's a huge benefit to referral marketing versus a lead. There's a huge difference. Anybody know what it is?
Yeah, it's more like permission based. So you got somebody that recommends you, you got credibility going in.
Exactly. You've already been recommended. They just have to meet you. They kind of know what your product, they kind of know what you're talking about already. And you've got the permission to pitch them. And so with a lead that you may get, it's just curiosity. That's all it is. You don't know whether they're going to be, when you do get them the information, whether their curiosity grows or it declines. And how I found this was a gentleman sought me out on LinkedIn, and I don't even use LinkedIn hardly at all, because I can't figure it out. Anyway, he sought me out, sent me a message. Turns out he lives a mile from my home. He is a PhD in economics. He built his entire business, multi-million-dollar business, on referral marketing. He was part creator of this company. Yes, he was in Send Out Cards at one point in time. So they basically mimicked them, stripped it all down, because one of the things I personally disliked about Send Out Cards is every time you got used to the system, they changed it.
That's true. That's why I didn't like it. I used to be a distributor of that.
Right. So you were always on a learning curve. So they're keeping it very simplistic. They have the same thing. You can send brownies, you can send gifts, you can They don't have card. They have a few cards to select from, but basically you create your own front of your card, and then you put your message on the inside.
So this is not send out cards that you're talking about?
No, it's just a service.
Oh, okay.
But no, I used send out cards as the reference to kind of guide people in. So it's just a service that this guy that oops, my microphone fell, and I lost my, there we go. Anyway, so he's tired of seeing businesses fail. He doesn't need the money. He's not making, as he told me, how much money can I make when when the cards are $1? It's not about money for him. He believes, and he's got a PhD in economics. He believes strongly that businesses fail because they don't know how to create they don't know how to referral market and get referrals. And you can't specifically ask for referrals. I've done that before. That makes people uncomfortable. Who do you know? Or do you know anyone? If you know anyone, please give them my name. Doesn't happen. But so since it didn't cost me anything for this service, I'm using it. I already started. And guess what the open rate is on a greeting card, Scott?
I have no idea.
100%.
Oh, the big square greeting card, like a birthday card you're talking about?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for $1, this company prints the card. You create the card on your computer. They print it. They address it. They put your return address on. They stuff it, and they put a real stamp. Here. This is what I sent to myself. There's one I sent to myself. There's the envelope, and that's a stamp. It's a real stamp. It's not a printed stamp. It's a real stamp. And then here's the card I created it's for my business partners. Debbie, I think you got a card from me, did you not?
I did.
Yeah. So I use this. I love the giraffe. And it says, "You are the bomb diggity."
Yep.
And then it's about, whatever business. This is for people that join my business. So I just said, so I'm so happy that you've joined me in Team Spire. Being happy is a foundation of success by loving what you do. We will achieve great things as a team and help thousands of people with our superb products. Again, John, welcome to the team. Here's to being bomb diggity, John. And then I put a little quote at the bottom. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And that's it. And then I have a logo, and I can put a logo on the back. So I have one for customers. I have all my birthdays. I have a birthday card already set up. So what I do is when I sell a product, I accrue 5 cards for the year. And that is it's $5 plus, it's $7.50. Some of my sales are a loss, but I send them a birthday card. I send them a Thanksgiving card. I do not send Christmas cards because I don't know whether they're Christians or not a lot of times, which is okay. And plus your card gets in, everybody's stressed. They got a lot going on and they open it up. Oh, it's nice. Boom, boom. It goes in the pile. I send a New Year's card. I send a 4th of July card, and I send a random card just thinking of you, or, hey, I built, my business is dependent on referrals. Any help you could give me, I would greatly appreciate it. That's it. On certain cards, I don't put my logo on the back, like Thanksgiving or New Year's maybe, or, I just don't put my logo on it. So it's appreciation marketing that turns into referral marketing. So anyway, I wanted to share that with you because the reason is when you open a greeting card, Debbie, how did you feel when you got the greeting card?
It was sweet. I appreciated it.
So it became a little bit emotional, correct?
It became personal.
It became personal, which is an emotion.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Yes, it became personal, but when a person, think about the mail you get today. What do you get in the mail, Ron?
Medical bills.
What do you get, Ron?
I get stuff that goes directly into the friggin' barrel.
Exactly. Scott, what do you get?
Junk. Just junk.
Yeah. So guess what? When you get one of these and it looks like somebody took the time to write it to you, you open it. Because everybody knows what the hell a greeting card size is. That's why I don't send postcards. I've heard people say, oh, why don't you send postcards? They're cheaper. I said, because they get lost in the mail and a lot of them go in the garbage. And they seem like a pitch. It's not, as Debbie said, it's not, a postcard is not personal unless it's totally handwritten. So anyway, keep that in mind. I'm not telling you to do it, but one of the things we have to learn how to do is to tap into people's emotions. That's what we have to learn how to do. That's the missing piece. That's the piece that no one teaches you. That's the one that, because we all get, oh, you got to make this post, you got to make this post, and you got to do this, and you got to do that, and you send this kind of email. But they don't teach you to find out how to tap into that emotion. And
It's so interesting the way you bring that up. I've got, the first time I saw that, I've seen it once, was a solo ad order. Igor Kifitz, Igor solo ads.
Yeah.
I ordered solo ads, and I received a nice, it wasn't handwritten, but an actual thank you card in the postal mail. That you don't get that on Udemy, from those solo ad guys. And yes, the emotion, that little emotional response, that gratitude, that he was actually thankful enough for my business that he sent postal mail to me for hiring his email.
right.
That's very effective. It is.
Oh, and let me ask you a question. Did you keep that card for a while?
Yeah, I still have it actually somewhere.
Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? Think about that. Think about if you send a Thanksgiving card to someone. How many things? How many things? How many things?
In January.
Huh?
It'll still be on the refrigerator in January.
Yeah. It's just, and look, I was in the car. Here's why I buy into this. Anybody know who Joe Girard is?
No.
Yep.
Joe Girard was the greatest salesman that ever lived. Car salesman. Wrote
I
a
thought that
book.
was John Fogg.
Well, I guess there's a lot of claims. Joe Girard in the 70s was selling a couple thousand cars a year himself. He never took a customer off of the lot because everybody came and asked for him. And you know why? He hired someone to just do this. That's all he did. He sent him He sent them thank you cards for their business. He sent them birthday cards. He sent them anniversary cards for their 1-year anniversary of purchasing their car.
That's true, John. I'm one of the top people in our region, and I handwrite thank you cards.
See? And it's effective, correct?
And most of my business is on referrals.
And what kind of business is that?
Hearing aids.
Pardon me? What kind of business is that?
Hearing aids.
Okay. All right. Isn't that amazing? Did you hear what she said? The majority of her business is referrals. How hard are they to close?
They're already closed when they walk in.
So let me ask you a question. Are we making this more difficult than what it needs to be? I'm not looking for an answer. I want you to think about that. Is the process that being in this type of business, are we making it more difficult than it needs to be? And the reason I say that is I have 3 things going on, and I'm in with you guys on one of them, you and Scott. Okay. Basically, the other one, I just share a cup of coffee. That's all I do. I don't complicate it. I don't tell them, how great the business. I don't even talk about the business. And I'm trying to figure that out for the business that you two are in with me. We're in the same business, but we're not on the same team. We are on the same team, but you know what I mean. So, and I think the way that's going to happen is to break out those pieces and make them individual sales. Like the credit repair, like the ID coverage.
From what I understand, Bill Marley made a lot of his money just doing that. He's just selling retail.
Yeah, exactly. Because once you do that, there will be distributors that come from that. And then you have the opportunity to mold and shape them the way that you want to. But when you do it simply, when you simplify everything, just like Debbie's talking about, Debbie has simplified by just taking the time to write a handwritten note. And she said that everybody that comes in is basically closed by the time that she meets them. So you know what that does for her? It allows her all the time that she spends with them to build a really solid relationship. And Debbie, you correct me if I'm wrong. You build a really good, solid relationship with them, and guess what they do for her? Once they get their hearing aids and they're happy, guess what they start doing for her, because she took the time to get to know them, and then she writes them a handwritten thank you note. She then gets referrals from them. Would that be a fair statement?
Yeah, and a lot of my patients will actually thank me for the thank you note, because that couple of them have said that nobody does that anymore.
Yeah. And granted, I'm going to guess your clientele is older, correct? For the most part.
Actually, it's I would say 60-40.
Okay. 60 older, 40% all over the place.
Yeah, younger.
Yeah. So you're right. No one is doing appreciation, doing it from the heart, truly appreciating your customers, because everything is money over the years. I mean, think about how long you've been in direct sales, Scott?
Since
Since
February.
Since February. And
Yeah.
how long you been around it, Ron?
I started with the Flintstones.
And Deb, roughly how long have you been? I know you've been around for a while.
Oh my gosh, I was in Amway.
Okay. And Jamal, why don't you type it, since your microphone's not working, just type in how long you've been around direct sales. Because look, Debbie's been in a long time, Ron's been in a long time, Scott's just trying to find his way. I've been in since 99. And we've all seen it change dramatically. We've seen it, you know, the internet came in and man, everybody thought that the internet was going to change everything. It did for some, but not most of us. Jamal has been in 1 month. She's really she or he's really trying to find her way. And are you male or female? And I don't mean that. I'm just trying to get to know you, and I don't have a visual or a voice. So anyway, so and it's coming full circle, but it's not really. It should have never left what we're talking about. And Debbie didn't let it leave. And it serves her well, and it served me well. When I was in the car business, if I would have had a card service like this, I would have crushed it. I did do some handwriting, but the problem was that I didn't have any time and I wasn't smart enough just to pay somebody to do it. I mean, to be real blunt about it, it just never crossed my mind. Why wouldn't I? If I would have hired somebody just to do that, oh my gosh, it would have been awesome. And then, you know, trying to get salespeople to send out a card, you know, just or thank you or something. And in today's world, if you're in the car business, you get to take a picture of them with their new car. Guess what you can put on the front of the card? Bingo. And then guess what you can send them? You can send them the same card a year from now. Hey, it was a year ago. You remember this day? It kind of takes them back to the smell of their new car. You tap into that emotion. So anyway, and it basically comes, you know, with the 5 senses. And you just, if you remember that, it'll help you. And so one of the things I want you guys to do with your RPM, any questions before we move on? And then I'm going to try and get it done quick here.
You did?
And
I'm sure we have water in this house.
so, all right, no questions. I want you to take your RPMs now, and I want you to break them down in the month. So one of the things that I do, and I've done for a long time, I figure out what, like right at the end of the month, I'll start thinking about October and what I want to get done. And what I do is by October the 1st or 2nd, my sponsor or my upline receives an email with my commitment. I'm going to have this many customers. I'm going to have this many business partners. I don't really go into volume because it doesn't matter. I have one for all my businesses, all my upline get it. Because we don't keep ourselves accountable. Let me ask you all a question. Do you treat your business as a multi-million-dollar business? Pardon me?
Not yet.
Not yet. If not yet, when and why?
Very fair question. It probably is. I could give all kinds of answers, but it's probably procrastination because I'm busy enough on my other business, and it pays my bills.
Okay.
So, but that can't last forever, you know. I'm at the age I don't want to keep doing what I have been doing till the end of time, you know.
Exactly. So if you get into business, and here's the problem with the business that you and Scott and I are in, the one business, is it's less than $50. How do you treat it like a multi-million-dollar business? Because when you treat it as a multi-million-dollar business, it begins to act that way or respond that way. When you treat it as a hobby, it will respond that way. And all of us have used this. Yeah, there's a guy in there, man. He is making he's making 150 grand a year, or he's making $1 million a year. We've all done it. Or this friend of mine, he's just killing it, making 20 grand a month. Right? Have you done that?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Have you done that, Deb?
What, made 20 grand a month?
No. Talk about somebody that has.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except that what happens is you're talking about somebody else, but you're just, it's whimsical. And you think it's a great sales pitch. And it's not, because you don't believe you can do it.
That's true.
So if you don't have the belief, and that's where all the emotion comes from. What do you believe about yourself? That's why you have to treat your business as a multi-million-dollar business. I'm going to give you an exercise to do. Pull out your checkbook. Write a check for $500,000 or $250,000. Address it to whatever company you're with. Like the payee. And put it on the refrigerator. Or put it where you see it. Because I guarantee you, if you truly wrote a check for 250 grand to have a business, you wouldn't treat it as a hobby. And you would have already gotten started. Because every day that goes by that you don't do anything on your business to generate income, that 250 grand just keeps dwindling away. And away, and away, and away. Make sense? It's a great exercise to do. You know, many people say, oh, write a check to yourself for $1 million and keep it until you make it. Nah. Write it to the company you're with. And put it on the refrigerator, or put it where you see it every day. Because when you do that, that's okay. You're not making any money yet, Jamal. That's okay. If you're just starting out, you're trying to find out. But I will tell you this: do something every day on your business and learn as you go. Because if you wrote a check for 250 grand for a business, you would not know every single thing about that business, because too many things come up in real life in a business that you hadn't even thought about, that you have to deal with. and you still have to keep the doors open. And you still have to be generating income or sales, revenue. Otherwise, the doors are going to close real fast. And guess what? That's why this gentleman I ran into is teaching referral marketing, because he wants to see businesses be successful. I want to see you guys be successful. Here's a fair question. It's a tough ass question, but it's a fair question. Would you hire yourself?
Yeah, I would.
Okay, fair enough.
Promote a multi-level marketing system? No, I wouldn't.
No,
But
no. To hire yourself for your current business, would you, with what you're doing today, would you hire you?
My effort?
Yeah.
Ask me tomorrow.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah, I would have to say probably no, because I'm not that impressed with what I've done so far.
Okay. I mean, thank you for being honest, Scott. It's a very great question, because you really have to be truthful with yourself. That's why that question is so good. Either that or you're going to lie to yourself. It puts more reality into the quote that people use. If you believe you can, you're right. And if you believe you can't, you're right. Well, that's just a quote. There's no emotion in that. But when you ask yourself, would I hire myself? You're asking the same question. Do you believe in yourself? Do you believe in what you're doing? So here's what I want you to do. I want you to take it's September the 16th. I wrote my goals out. I am 30% there. I'm 30% in one business, and in the other two, I am probably 15% there. Maybe I'm 35% in the one. So I'm not where I need to be either, but I have it visually. I want you to start breaking down, even though it's the 16th. Take what you wrote out, and it doesn't take long. When we get off of this call, when you wake up tomorrow, you should be able to see it. Or tomorrow at the end of the day, you should be able to see it. How many sales do you want to make by the end of the month? And then make the action steps. Make the action steps, or your massive action. Then you can break that down to what you need to do every day. And really think, and if you're struggling with your marketing, then you need to get with someone and say, or look at yourself and say, you know what I'm doing is not working. And whoever you signed up with, that should be the first person you talk to. Look, what I'm doing right now, and I'm following your lead, is not working. Help me out here. Just need a little conversation. And if they can't if they can't help you, find someone that can.
Yes, I have one recruit in my econ so far, and she's not even mine because she had quit. So she signed back up. I encouraged her to sign back up. Well, I didn't really encourage her. I just kind of let her. Basically, I told her, you're in the no-brainer group, and you got lots of help, and we work with her. But she had to basically sign back up underneath of the existing girl who had gotten all the commission for her in the first place.
Right.
Yeah. If she quit because that girl was I don't know, there was something wrong. It didn't work out for her. But basically, my point is, yeah, if you're a sponsor or if you don't have the support, go find it.
Go find it.
Go find it.
Because you can keep digging until you find it. You know? And look, part of the reason why there's so much failure rate in any business, and I'll speak specifically of direct sales, is because people don't get people started the right way. I do welcome calls. When I get a new person that's a business partner, I'm doing welcome calls now. I schedule an appointment, a Zoom call with my upline. It's worked really well so far. It's worked really well. And you know what it does for me? Builds my confidence in what I have here, in what I do. Because look, you're Scott, just what you said, your confidence getting a little rattled.
Yeah.
You know? And there's some days that you just don't do anything. I'm just, look, I'm throwing it out there. Maybe tell me if I'm wrong or not, but there's probably some days that you do minimal. Let me just say it that way.
Yep.
Only because somewhat you're discouraged. So, you know, that's why I started this group. You know, none of you, there's one person that's sitting here that's in my business. That's it. The rest of you belong to in another businesses or other businesses. And look, we had the first 2 weeks ago, we had 11 or 12 on here. Now we're 50%, which I expected.
Yeah, but now we can talk to each other. So that's
exactly. Yeah, sure. Exactly. You know, but you know, the one thing I want you to do is I want you to think about and apply what we're talking about here. You have to make application, which means you have to do something. And it is, is that me?
That's me.
Oh, you just, and if you have to figure out what you need to do, then you have to figure that out, you know, and I'll help you when I can, and I'll help you on here. You can message me. You can, please don't send me emails because I just can't. I check my email once a day and I don't even want to do it then. Just send me a message on Messenger or put a message in Messenger in this group. But the one thing I've learned is that these groups are powerful provided that you communicate with them constantly. And what I mean by that personally, on Messenger or on, you drip on them. So, so anyway, so the exercise, would you guys, I mean, let me ask you a question. Would you rather meet more than once every 2 weeks? Would that help you? Or is once every 2 weeks going to be fine?
That's good.
it's fine.
Okay. I would like to see a little more, because I've put some stuff in the group. I would like to see that there's a little more. Maybe it'll inspire someone else, but if everybody would just put a little bit of communication in some of the posts, I think that would help you. And if you have any questions, ask them so other people can see them. And I think it'll help, and it'll help you.
You have a post we're supposed to upload our action plan to, right?
Yeah, I put mine just in the group. But that's where we would put them, or just create them as a file if you want in there. But yeah, just put them in there, and what we can do is I'll put them. You put them in there, and I'll put them in a file, so they're just not sitting there publicly. Unless that doesn't bother you. It doesn't bother me because I think it's healthy. So anyway, yeah, just get them just upload them in there. Take a picture of them with your smartphone and then just upload it. And then, so did you get any value out of tonight?
Yes.
Yes, John.
Yep.
All right. I don't want to waste your time. You know, sometimes I'm a little rusty because it's, you know, I don't always train, but I like this group. I like this fact that we're going to focus. So, but what I want you to think about now is we're already 16 days are already gone, or not 16, but we started on the 5th. 11 days are gone. Can't get them back. And we're going to the week before Christmas. So, you know, I would love to see everybody when we get to around Thanksgiving, everybody smiling, happy, and joyful because things are starting to work and click. And I think, Ron, you're going to have some success with your radio campaign. But I think you have to tweak it, what you do after.
I think what I should do is change over AWeber to make phone number mandatory.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. It may because I think people would put the phone number in because of the radio. They're coming to you.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's a pretty respectable ad source, place to hear an ad.
Yeah,
You trust what you hear on the radio.
exactly. So there's nothing wrong with change that and ask for their phone number, because if they're not going to give you their phone number, they're probably an email's not going to. You're not going to convert them with an email, right?
Yeah. I was looking at, maybe I get more takers, but then once I'm communicating with email, I could get them to give me a phone number, but this makes a whole lot more sense. I'll get better leads. I might get less of them, but better ones.
Exactly. That's all you want. You want the quality, not the quantity.
Yep.
Same debate with a double opt-in. Some people much prefer double opt-in because they want an email list that actually opens email.
Right. Exactly. So anyway,
I left double opt-in set on this time. I have in the past not done that.
Yeah. No, I think that's smart. Okay, Debbie, you got anything to comment on before we go?
No, I'm just about to message you.
Okay. And Ron?
Just one comment. You were talking about not relying on email. And I was looking back on when I had more success in network marketing. It's before all the blogging and autoresponders and everything else, when it was more traditional. So I think it needs to be a combination of using all the friggin' technology we got today, but still not lose track of what the heck works.
Well, again, that's why I brought up the emotion, because old school, when you went to the meeting, the hotel meeting that everybody just knocked the hell out of, when you went to it, you came back like either this is not for me, or you know what, I'm going to do this. I can do this. Because there was a bunch of other people there that were in that emotion, if you will.
Yeah, the emotional investment was a whole lot higher.
It was. And the success rate was higher.
Yep.
And the support was higher.
Mhm.
So I appreciate your comment. And yours, Debbie. Scott, you got any closing statements?
No, I don't. Thank you, John.
Okay. And JML, do I have any free marketing techniques? Are we friends on Facebook? Here, I'm going to put my Facebook. If we're not, friend me on Facebook, and I'll communicate with you that way. And if you guys aren't friends with me on Facebook, but I think all of you are, just don't know about. Does anybody want the link for the card? The card.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, Debbie does.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so I'll put that in the group. Okay, I'm not going to put it on here because it'll go away, and
But it's not send out cards,
it
right?
is not send out cards.
Okay.
It is not. It's a stripped down type version of it.
Because you got to pay $79 a year for send out cards.
You pay nothing here. Zippo. You pay Zippo. The only thing that is similar, but I found out why they have to do it. Yeah, I'll do that for you, Debbie. Is that the reason that they have, if you don't use your money that you put in by a year's time, there is a federal law. So they have to take your money. I didn't know that. So when you put money in, make sure you use the service, or after a year and the money disappears, there is a federal law of why they have to do that. So anyway. Okay, I'll put that in the group. We'll meet 2 weeks from this Sunday. Will be
30th.
Yep, the 30th, the end of the month. And then I will be in Nashville on, let's see, no, I won't. I'll be home. Let's see. Okay, the 30th, and then we'll meet on the 14th, then the 28th. Now, where I'm going to run into, I may have to alter this, and maybe one of you might take it over, or maybe I'll have a guest come on and do a training for you, is I'm going to leave for vacation on November the 5th. And November the 11th should be our call. I'll let you know whether I'll be there or not for that call. But we're going to go to, my wife and I haven't had a vacation in 3 years. So we're going to fly to Vegas, rent a car, and we're going to go to the national parks, the Grand Canyon and Bryce Canyon, and all the canyons. So we're going to be gone for like almost 2 weeks. And so we look forward to that. And then we're going to finish our trip with a concert in Vegas with Cher. We've never seen Cher. I think it'll be great. It'll be fun. Isn't that funny? I think she'll be a
Oh my
blast.
God, she's going to be in a wheelchair.
Exactly. But I bet she's not. I bet she's just as flamboyant as she's always been. We'll see. It'll be fun, I think. So anyway. All right, guys. Jamal, did you get my message in there in the chat and send me a friend request before we go? Okay, you got it. All right, super. Okay, guys, this has been great. I think, you know, it helps me. I appreciate you guys being here, and tap into the emotion in the next 2 weeks. And one of the things about that is think right. Everything that you look at your business, make sure you're thinking in the right way. I'll leave you with that. All right. See ya. And I'll put the recording in there too if you want to go back and listen to it.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Talk to you later, John.
Thanks, John.
All right.